Hi there, my name is Brooke and I am an Emerald Ambassador with Plexus Worldwide. I want to share a little bit with you about my journey and how I got started with Plexus. I am a family nurse practitioner and a busy mom of 4 crazy, busy boys, and I found myself irritable, uptight, with a short fuse, wanting to crawl out of my own skin sometimes, blowing up at my kids, not sleeping well, and I was tired. I was looking for help. I was looking for something, and Plexus came to me by way of a Facebook post of one of my very trusted friends. And being a researcher and a self-proclaimed nerd, I called her and I asked her 100 questions. And during that conversation, I was actually on speakerphone looking up the ingredients on Plexus's website, which I can tell you is very cool to me that they are so transparent. I remember thinking there's not much in these things. So I did what we do in our field. I did 2 or 3 days worth of research looking up every single ingredient in the triplex, which is what my friend thought would help me get going with gut health, which I knew nothing about gut health because us healthcare professionals or people in the healthcare profession are not educated on gut health nor supplementation. So I came to the conclusion that it probably was not going to help me, but it wasn't going to kill me, so it was worth a shot. I was pumping my body full of sweets, sugar, tons of Diet Coke, and it had to have been healthier than what I was doing. So I'm a cheapskate. I'm the cheapest person that I know, so I went for the wholesale pricing. Because $100 is $100. I don't care what you make. So it seemed like a lot to purchase a welcome pack to get started. So I purchased the welcome pack, got started on my products, and you know what? I started to see changes. I was the biggest skeptic. I expected nothing. I deleted my initial emails. I threw my welcome kit aside. I didn't do anything with Plexus. And all of a sudden, I started to have a little bit of gas in the tank. I was able to do the laundry at 9 o'clock at night. I was not blowing up and apologizing at my kids. I was not laying in bed with my mind racing. I was able to fall asleep. I was sleeping well. I was waking up rested. I began to feel like the mom and the wife that I felt like I was intended to be, but I had not felt like I had been for several years. I had energy. I kicked Diet Coke. I could eat 1 cookie instead of a dozen. No joke, I really did that. I just felt like a different person. I was getting things done around the house. I wasn't waiting for the next nap when the kids would nap so I could nap. I just felt good. I started noticing that I didn't need those sweets or I could say no, and I was craving these healthy foods, which was really weird. So this major skeptic who would have previously made fun of people who were on supplements, not while I was seeing you, but only after I left the exam room, right? I all of a sudden realized that this was changing my life. So I knew that I had to tell everyone about it. I felt like I was a selfish friend if I didn't share because every mom needed it, every dad, every grandma, every grandpa. So I decided about 2 months in, at the end of June of 2015, that I was going to share on Facebook. I posted at 11 o'clock on a Sunday night because I'm a healthcare professional. I'm a nurse practitioner in a small community where we know everybody, and I figured people were going to judge me. They were going to make fun of me, and I was scared, and I was worried about what people thought of me. So, but I knew that Plexus was so big that I needed to share regardless of what people were going to think of me. I knew it was bigger than that. So I posted on a Sunday night at 11 o'clock, and I went to bed hoping nobody would ever see it, right? Like a big coward. And I woke up the next morning and I would have never expected what happened. I had launched an accidental business. I did not expect to be helping people, to help people feel better, to be customers, to join my team. And so that was the beginning of that. I began to realize that, I'm on products. My kids are suffering from different things. They should probably be on products. And at the time, my son was 7. Major fear, worry, nerves, didn't want to go to school, tears, stomach ache every single day, phone call from the office every single day. He was a kid who had struggled. My son did not use a public restroom stall by himself. I had to go with him at all times. He was just a kid who was not allowed to be a kid, which was very sad. We had exhausted everything except putting him on medications, which was never an option for us. And so when I knew that my angst and that inner nerves and worry and irritability and all those things went away, I thought, what if this would help my son? So I put all my kids on our probiotic, and I started to see gradual changes in my son. And then they weren't so gradual. Then he became a different kid. Was it an overnight process? Absolutely not. But the minute the principal, who was not my Facebook friend, because I was not very happy with what she had to say about my kid, emailed me asking me, what have you done with your son? Why is he okay? Why is he different? Can I please ask your personal and professional opinion? Please share with me what you've done with Kaiser. I knew that we had hit a jackpot. And jackpot, I'm not talking money. I'm talking jackpot of health. Like, this is something God brought to us and laid it on my heart. And I thought it was selfish about myself to feel better. And it wasn't about me. It was about fixing Kaiser and fixing my other son with focus issues and my other son with anger issues and my husband who had suffered with reflux and couldn't eat spicy foods late at night and sneezing and seasonal symptoms every year of his life and needs a rescue inhaler once in a while. All those things we started to see change. It was just nothing short of a miracle in these naturally sourced products. And we were making less trips to the pharmacy, and we were taking less over-the-counter medication, and it was just phenomenal. So I continued to share. I wanted Plexus products in the hands of every single person that I'd ever met. And so I shared more and more, and my passion grew as I watched people's lives transform. And a year after I started sharing, almost to the date, I went Emerald with Plexus, which is a really cool rank. It's a huge financial blessing for our family. It included a trip for 2 to Hawaii, a stipend for a Lexus that I get to drive when I'm not hauling my kids in my minivan. It just opened up a whole different world to us that we didn't think was possible, and I didn't plan on. So I've gotten to cut back at work. We get to donate generously and give, without checking our budget. And we just get to do life differently. We live very much the same, but we get to say yes to things that we couldn't say yes to before, or without worrying what that next credit card bill is going to be. And it's just a huge blessing to not have that over your shoulder or that stressor all the time. I can tell you what that's done for our family and for our marriage to not have that. It's pretty miraculous. Just to have there be enough money to cover all the bills with no worries is pretty amazing. But to cut back work and get to do that is even better. So, Plexus blessed our family in the most unusual way. Excuse me. I don't doubt it was an entire God thing. He dropped it in my lap, into the biggest skeptic's lap, when I wouldn't have even ever considered something like that. Excuse me. And he's changed our whole lives. He's transformed our entire lives, from the friendships that we have, to the health that we have, to the freedom that we have, because we're free of worry, fear, and the financial freedom that we have. So that's kind of my story. I could go on and on about it, but I hope that someone out there learned something that they needed to hear. You guys can ask me questions anytime about this, and blessings to you all.